Hey, yo, big up, ladies and gentlemen. This your man, Kizaza again. We talk about things that concern us. And today, I've been receiving a lot of people calling me and telling me, writing to me, basically telling me why you're not talking to us anymore about the things we love to listen. And, you know, today I'm back. I'm back. Today is independence for Uganda. Uganda is a country in eastern parts of Africa. And right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm in Kampala, the capital city of Uganda, right now. So it's a public holiday, and you can see people celebrating, people happy, commemorating the independence. But as you know, the people that know me, it ain't gonna change. I don't really think that we are independent. Unfortunately, the independences that we got are mostly symbolic. In reality, there's nothing really that changed so much. The same evil forces that colonized the people of Africa, the same evil forces that enslaved us, continue to have a grip on us, on our economies, on our freedoms, on our press, on everything. And this is really sad, and this is the reason why you can see that we are not really independent. And you could see one of the reasons that I say we are not really independent. If you look at all of the forefathers, the fathers of independence of different countries in Africa, you see one trend. Those that really spoke about the people, those that care about the people like Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah, you see that these people were actually targeted. Most of them were assassinated, and they were considered rebels and enemies of the West and enemies of the enslavers and the colonialists. And why people that fought for our freedom will be considered enemy is because actually the people that colonized us never really wanted us to be free. And even after colonization, they continued to colonize us in a different way, even after independence. And I remember in the Congo, especially, the Belgians, before leaving the Congo, after the evil acts that they committed for centuries in the Congo, after leaving the Congo, the Belgians told the Congolese people, after independence will be just like before independence. People thought they were joking, but the truth is, after independence is just like before independence. And this is the case in many countries in Africa. But even though there's nothing to celebrate, there's nothing to be happy about, but there is something to feel proud about. Well, if you see around the world, you find different places where you got people that don't exist anymore. You got lands that have been taken by the colonialists. Even though this is nothing to celebrate, at least we have something we could be feeling proud about as Africans, because our fight for independence, first of all, I want to remind the people that many countries, many Western countries like to give the narrative, like during the independences that African countries receive were gifts. They gave us this independence, but in reality, people died, people fought, people suffered, people sacrificed lives to be independent. And understand. And you got speeches from many fathers of our independence that depict this reality. And today, even if we have nothing really to celebrate, we have something small to be proud about. And this is not even something small, something really important to be proud about. The fact that we still exist on our land. I want to give you examples of a few people that no more exist on their land after their land were colonized. And if you look around the world, you find a few countries. Number one is America. America, the people that live in America today, people like the Joe Biden, the Anthony Blinken, we know that they are not really the Native Americans. They are not really the original American. These people came from Europe. Their ancestors came from Europe, and they colonized America. They colonized the Native Americans. And you remember we used to call them Indians. American Indians. It's because Christopher Columbus, who so-called discovered America, didn't even know where he was going. He thought he was going to India. He found himself in America. He didn't even know where he was going, so he called these people Indians. And today, they still hail him like somebody really intelligent, really somebody with a big personality, a big explorer. But we know he didn't even know where he was going. So, and when they took over the land of America, these colonialists, they really exterminated the people that used to live in America. They killed all these people. They even brought European diseases to infect these people so that they could die. Imagine, it's like me taking Ebola from Africa and put it in on blankets and then taking to the people who don't know Ebola. They've never been in contact with Ebola. So it's easy for these people. They will be dying, dying, dying. And this is the same thing Europeans did to the Native Americans. They brought European diseases. They killed these people. They exterminated them, and they took over the land. And today, the Native Americans are like, second-class citizens in America. They have nothing to say, no leadership, and most of them disappeared. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at America today, you don't see really the Native Americans. You see the Americans. But when you look at Africa today, you see Africans, Native Africans on our land. This is something to be proud about. Another country I want to talk to you about is Australia. Australia was a country, with an indigenous population that was black, like me and many people in Africa here. But when Europeans actually colonized Australia, you know what happened? They exterminated the people. They killed all the native tribes of Australia, just like they did in America, with diseases, extermination, and killings, like really killings. It got to a time where the people of Australia remain only around 5,000 people. But today we're talking to you, the people of Australia almost are non-existent. When you look at Australia, you see Europeans who colonized Australia and who migrated there now occupy Australia. So Australia does not look like, like Africa. Africa looks like Africa with the African people, the native people of this place, and we are here. Despite not being independent, we managed to keep our lands and our villages and to ourselves. Another country, there are so many countries, and you see today, right now, we have so many problems regarding these issues of land, occupations, and many things. And why I'm bringing this to light today is because when these colonialists came to occupy Africa, they never intended to come and go back. They never intended to give us independence. They wanted to come, take over our land, kill every black person, and occupy our land, just like they occupy America. If you don't believe me, I have proof. I can take you back to the 20th century. The first massacre of the 20th century was in Namibia. You remember Namibia, back then it was a colony of the German, back in the day. And these people wanted to take over the land of Namibia. So they set out to exterminate the tribes, the Oromo and the Nama, who used to live in Namibia. They killed almost all of these people. They wanted to finish all these people and to take over the land so that many people from Europe could come and occupy it and just make it Europe. You know what I'm saying? But they failed because these people were resilient. The Nama and the Namibian people of that time, very resilient people. They resisted. They fought for their land. They fought for their languages and their culture. Even though they were outgunned by the Europeans, but they managed to survive. Most of them ran in the desert. We have the Namib Desert that Most of these people ran into the Namib Desert. They were hunted down and killed in the desert. And if you go to the Namib Desert today, you see scars. These people refuse to be buried. If you go there, you see scars all over the place. You see skeletons, bones of people, of African people that were exterminated during that time. But good enough, fortunately, the Germans failed to exterminate all the black people of Namibia and take over Namibia. And today, if you go to Namibia, you see the traces of this tragedy, but you still see the Namibian people strong, united, trying to lift up their country again. And Namibia is not the only place. If you look at South Africa, you already know South Africa. I know many people know South Africa because of the history of apartheid. The people of South Africa didn't sleep one night and wake up in the morning and this is apartheid. It was a process. Actually, there were some gangsters, some thugs, some very evil people who came from the Netherlands, generally from Europe, and then they crossed into South Africa, and they wanted to take over the land. They wanted to occupy the South Africa. They wanted to make it their land, to live there, and they took away the black people of South Africa. They relocated the black people of South Africa from the good Arab lands where they were living, and they put them in very bad places, in deserts, in ghettos, in in favelas, basically. And you see black people suffered so much. And these Europeans, they took control of South Africa. They took control of the wealth of South Africa, the money, the economy, and the politics and everything. But their main goal was to exterminate every black people of South Africa so that they can take this country and live in there, just like you see the Americans today, have taken over somebody's country, other people's country. But they failed because today, even though you go to South Africa today, you see there is still this the repercussion of apartheid. You see black people still destitute, still having no lands. White people occupy everything to this day. Black people living in ghettos to this day in South Africa. But these black people are still alive Here they are. South Africa is full of black people, and there is hope that one day they continue to fight and they will liberate themselves economically, and create a real equal society in South Africa. And this is not the only place. I can take you back to North Africa. You see northern parts of Africa, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Morocco. These places used to be black people. And if you go back in history, you see ancient Egypt 4,000 years ago, the pharaohs were black people like me and many people in Africa. But then it got to a time the Arabs came with their colonial mentality and a supremacy mentality, and they exterminated people of North Africa. They killed so many black people, and many of them found themselves back down here, what we call sub-Saharan Africa. This is how northern part of Africa was occupied, and today you ain't got no people there. But their goal was not only to occupy part of Africa, their goal was to occupy fully, control all of Africa and make it maybe what they want to make it, but they failed because the people of Africa resisted, fought, and today we are here, and there is hope that one day, we're going to live in Africa as dignified people, because the black people that still live in North Africa today are not dignified. They face racism, discrimination, all kind of oppression and evil deeds. You know what I'm saying? So we have all of these places where colonialists wanted to stay forever, like they did in America, like they did in Australia, like they did in many places. Africa is a strong continent. We are a strong people because we are among the few people that were colonized and never lost their land and continue to survive. And we're among the few peoples that fought for their freedom, for the so-called independence that we have today. This is not really independence, but we believe that from this we can build. We can build. We must continue to fight. We must continue to aspire to a better Africa, to Africa where every African is dignified, lived in equality, and everybody is happy. Thank you very much for paying attention. Remember, this is something that concerns us. You know what I'm saying? Concerns us, and we need to be, we need to be informed. We need to be alert, because history has a bad habit of repeating itself. If we don't open our eyes, if we don't talk about this, if we don't teach our children what happened in the past, they might not know that something is coming in the future, because all of this evil thing can repeat itself again. There's a possibility we can go back to this kind of dark ages, because we see the people that colonize us never change. They continue to try. They continue to try to kill the leaders that care for us. They continue to try to oppress us. And you can see it in every aspect today, how Africa is being exploited. The Congo, cobalt, cotton, which is today fueling or powering the world, electronics, but the people in the Congo get nothing. You have Nigeria that have oil, but Nigeria get nothing. Other countries that have oil, if they are European countries, they get to develop. But if you have wealth and you are not your African country, you get to go down. And this is really a pattern that we should see, we should know exists, we should expose it, and we should always continue to talk about it. Thank you very much. God bless you as we continue to fight for our independence. It's your boy Kizaza right here. I appreciate. Have a good day.